Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's time to start screaming, you know, that this night's Usyk Fury, but the reality is there's only one fight for Tyson Fury, and that's Anthony Joshua.
Eddie Hearn believes Tyson Fury is still at his peak despite his loss to Alexander USC, and he's pushing for a blockbuster showdown with Anthony Joshua to revive British boxing's biggest rivalry.
What did you make of it?
Yeah, I think he win. I counted. He had 4 rounds more. My account.
A lot of us expected Tyson maybe with the more weight to go in there and try and
Tyson
stop him.
do everything, doing amazing fight, but this is the boxing. There is one winner and there is loser. But next, I want if Dubois win in February, I want to see Usyk and Dubois again.
Hearn has remained firm in his belief that Tyson Fury versus Anthony Fury-Usyk last Saturday night in Riyadh, despite the disappointment of Fury's unanimous decision loss. Hearn insists that this loss does not mark the end of Fury's career.
I was quite confident. I thought I won that fight again. I think I've got Larry Holmes here. I thought I've won both fights. But then again, I've gone home with 2 losses on my record now, so there's not much I can do about it. I can just fight my heart out and do the best I can. But again, I'll always believe until the day I die, I won that fight.
In fact, Hearn has even gone as far as to say that Fury is still at the peak of his powers. According to Hearn, Fury versus Joshua is the fight that would electrify the British boxing scene, suggesting that it could be the biggest showdown in British boxing history.
A lot of people say that Usyk wins thanks to his spirit. Did you feel it?
I didn't feel no spirit. I felt a little bit of Christmas spirit in there, and I think he got a little Christmas gift from them judges. Christmas gift early.
Hearn plans to arrange not 1 but 2 massive bouts between Fury and Joshua, one at Wembley Stadium in London and another in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, part of the annual Riyadh season. Hearn has also expressed his intention to speak with Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh about making this blockbuster fight a reality.
I very respect this guy because I think it's very tough my opponent. Tyson Fury make me strong. Tyson Fury continue not like motivated for me, but Tyson is a great opponent. It's a big man, it's a tough boxer, it's a good man. Tyson a lot of talk to me, yeah? It just show. I am very respect Tyson Fury. 24 rounds, listen, now it's already history. Uncle Frank, I think blind. If Tyson say it's Christmas gift, okay, thank you God, not Tyson, thank you God. Thank you my coach Yuri, thank you my coach Kuba, thank you my team. Listen, Frank crazy man, you know? I think, that's my opinion. Okay, no problem.
Fury's performance in the Usyk fight was far from a strong display, and Hearn's assertion that Fury was still at the peak of his powers seems optimistic at best. While it is clear that Fury did not look poor in the fight as Hearn claimed, many fans and analysts felt that he did not perform at his usual level. He lacked the sharpness and aggression that often defines his best performances.
Sorry?
Ukrainian judges?
Well,
They might as well have been.
yeah. Whatever they were, honestly, I'm dumbfounded at how that scoring can be. It's dreadful.
I thought he won it by a couple of rounds. I was sitting next to by 3 rounds. I was sitting next to a couple of seats away from Oscar De La Hoya, who's a neutral. He had Tyson winning it. There was a couple of other good judges there, people who all along that front row. Most of them thought Tyson won the fight, and the two Alex and Igor sitting there, they weren't confident, I'll tell you that. They weren't confident, they were sitting one sitting.
And Usyk's tactics and superior conditioning in the later rounds ultimately proved too much. Hearn, however, stuck to his guns, emphasizing that Fury was not a fighter on the verge of retirement. According to Hearn, Fury was still in the mix, even though he wasn't able to overcome Usyk on that night. While some might question whether fans are still interested in such a match,
give it the way they give it Usyk. I just thought he did really well. Tyson, he did way better than the first time, so that deserved to be a 1-1, and we should have a trilogy on our hands. So I'm a bit upset for Tyson. I'm a bit upset, obviously, for all of his fans, his family, and I just wish he'd won that fight because we needed that fight. He needed to cement his legacy, and I thought that he did. To be honest, I think a lot of people saw it different, but I know one thing. I know that he was working really hard, Usyk, to create as much as he could with working with his hand speed and the shots that he got in. I don't know what the punch count was for how many times he connected, but it might have possibly been more than Tyson's. But you know what? There's no way it was the way they said it was. That's all I know.
Especially with both fighters coming off losses, Hearn insists that the fight would still attract attention. There are few other major bouts available for these two men in the UK, and for Hearn, the Joshua-Fury clash represents the best option for both. Even though Joshua has been handed a humiliating defeat at the hands of Daniel Dubois in recent months.
Did you think that the weight had any factor? What did you think of Tyson coming in heavier?
I think it did have a factor. It depends in different parts. So he was able to, in parts, get hold of Usyk lean on him, put a little bit of good work in the body shots and stuff. But then I do think that down the straight, because Usyk was able to weather that, the conditioning did play a factor in the last few rounds where he was able to just throw 3-4 punches more in exchanges, and I think that's what edged it out.
Hearn remains confident that the Joshua-Fury matchup could still have the intrigue and drama needed to capture the public's attention. On the other hand, Fury was not sure about his next opponent and said he'll go home to have a good Christmas with his family. Right now, he stated, "What's next for me? I'm going home and having some time off."
I didn't watch the full 12 rounds, so it probably would be unfair for me to give a proper breakdown of it. What I saw, I thought the decision was probably right, but I didn't watch the full thing properly, so I don't know. I'd like to see the third fight.
You'd like to see the trilogy? Yeah?
I don't want to see him box anybody else. I don't want to see the man get beat by anybody else.
Do you think the demand's there, really?
I don't know. I do not want to see Usyk get beat by anybody.
I was quite confident. I thought I won that fight. Again, about the fight with Usyk. Fury believed he had won the fight, saying, "I thought I won that fight." Again, Fury compared his situation to being Larry Holland, referencing a past controversial decision in boxing history despite his belief that he had won both fights against Usyk. Fury found himself with 2 losses on his record.
Let's call it as it is. You know what I mean? I think if the scoring wasn't so wide, then we wouldn't be screaming robbery, right? I'm just going to be totally honest. There was an argument to say I saw this fight 115, 130 to either man, right? But the one that was more domineering and was more poker face when they were under attack was Alexander Usyk. And that could leave the impression on the judges, right? But the thing what impregnated the judges' mindset more than anything is like, even when Usyk was losing a round, he'd try to stick it on you in the last bits, and then he'll come big in the next round. And that's, to me, what made the difference. Like, there was certain times when, with Tyson Fury, there were sustained attacks, but they wasn't regular enough. When Usyk did the sustained attack, you knew, you know what's going on here? And you can also hear the thudding of the punches from Usyk. So, you know what I mean? Tyson Fury's got every right to believe that he won that.
He admitted there was nothing he could do about it now, except to continue fighting with all his heart. He added that he would always believe, even until the day he dies, that he had won the fight, the second fight between Fury and...
He didn't look gun-shy, he didn't look like his punch resistance was in question like we talked about earlier. So I think Tyson Fury's still, potentially at the peak of his powers, just not good enough to beat Alexander Usyk tonight. But for me, look, you know, AJ against Fury is the one.
Usyk didn't carry the same drama as their first, in which Fury was nearly knocked out by Usyk in a wild 9th round. This time, the rounds were more difficult to score, with Fury maintaining the pressure throughout.